very slow, traps itself, and collects at the cone.
Got it. Okay.
One more, And so the solid waste gets trapped at the base of these and then flushed out, like I said, every 2 weeks or so, or every week, I'm sorry, once a week. So they did that.
That is also automated. You guys put
we
the
have a
pipe outside,
valve.
or
We have a valve right below, right here, and it's as simple as turning the valve, letting it flood or drain out in about 5 minutes or so, and then filling it back up with the water coming in here.
Got
It's
it.
as simple as taking a hose and just spraying it down right here. You won't really have to use any squeegee, any brush, or any kind of techniques, any labor. It's just easy to just flush, clean off with a hose, and then start the system back up again.
Got it. Okay.
Now we have all of these running individually of them themselves, so that if we were to clean or maintain or do maintenance on either one of these tanks, we can take it out of the system and have the continuation of the system running through.
So this water containing different kind of diseases or something else, it's one. What are the challenges on the side of the
Hi there.
getting
Welcome.
getting disease and the plants itself? Like let's say, what are the chances to have any kind of issue?
Contamination issues, or lettuce is something that can be susceptible to certain diseases, whether that's through touch of a human, which might have had tobacco on its hands. There's tobacco mosaic virus. There's others that can be transmitted through bugs. When we control this system, we control all the pests, which helps us maintain almost no experiences with contamination as far as that.
Do you guys use any kind of spraying stuff at all?
No spraying.
None, right?
If we were to get any kind of disease or any kind of inconsistencies and contamination, we can block out each one of these grow beds individually, drain it completely out, clean it, and then the whole system can continue running while we're doing that. We've only experienced one time where we've had a contamination effect, and that's what we did. We just drained it out, and then we ultimately cleaned that out. That was in our first year. In these systems, if you do get a disease like that, they're mainly transmitted through the roots. And since we have a water system, the water or the actual disease can be transferred very quickly underneath. So you need to notify, or you need to find that system that's experiencing that contamination, block it from the entire system itself, and then clean that entire thing out. Once you do so, the chances of it contaminating the others are very minimal. But in the past 4.5 years, we've only had one outbreak, and it's been located only in one of our grow beds over on the other side there.
What caused it?
Like I said, we believe it was the tobacco mosaic virus. We think that we had an employee that might have been smoking cigarettes on a break or outside, came in, forgot to wash his hands, did some maintenance, cleaned it up, and that was transmitted that way. That's our best guess, but we do have Texas A&M, located only 45 miles away, and so they have a great plant pathology lab that we send specimens to, whether it has a disease or whether it's growing slow or there's some sort of discoloration. We can send that in, and they'll get a reading back to us for a very inexpensive price and a very quick turnaround time.
Good. So is there any cost of just doing for research? They're going to do it for free?
There is a cost to it, because a lot of the traditional agricultural farms use that as well. Very, very consistently. They use that almost in their operational expenses, knowing that they have to do that quarterly, weekly, or monthly. Before we head on down, the water comes from here, and remember, goes to our media beds over on the other side. Before we go and talk about the media beds, I want you guys to go see our other system. Remember how I said we expanded out? This is our first system, and as you can see, we have a lot of walkways up and down, a lot of deck area up here, and a lot of presentation space over here. This system was built for two purposes: commercial viability as well as educational outreach. So we would hold classes here, we would do invite people of all ages like yourselves to come in and do research and learn about the system and the sustainability. So we had students walking up and down here doing tests. We had a lot of presentation area for people to hold classes in here. When we took this idea, we realized this could be a viable business. We moved from this system as educational and commercially viable to a system that we've designed that's 100% commercially viable. So we've taken these walkways out, We've maximized our production by pushing those together. We've minimized the tank depth for structurability purposes because lettuce doesn't need as deep of a bed that we would have over here for kale or basil or tomatoes. So we made this crop specific to lettuce. We also minimized our tank space so that we could really maximize our production. By doing so, we're in about 3,500 square feet over here and about 3,500 square feet over there. We can produce the same amount of lettuce in half the square footage over here as over there. So we're producing about 3,500 heads over there, or over here and over there. So per square foot, we're producing almost twice as much, which really makes your return on investment much lower and ultimately your space much lower as well. The most expensive part in aquaponics, at least in our climate, is the greenhouse structure. The system itself really doesn't require much. It's PVC, liner, and tanks, which you can substitute out for IBC totes or other things. Even the media filtration. Media can be expensive in clay pebble form, which we're gonna go see shortly, but you can also utilize river rock or gravel that you'd find at any kind of rock depot or yard depot. And it's just something that has surface area for that culmination of bacteria to form on. We like to use the clay pebbles, which we'll see shortly, for aeration techniques.
For media beds, clay one is better?
Yes, they're definitely the industry standard. So they
kind
are
of keeping
expensive,
moisture longer time, kind of.
But they can really keep flow rate very consistently.
Got it, okay.
So this system has the same general principles as this system. We start with our fish tanks. We move to our filter tanks, which we saw right up here, which are located over there. And then we drop down to our media beds, which we have located over there. Now, each one of these systems is running simultaneously, but completely separate of one another. They're both completely closed loop systems running autonomously of their own. So if we were to throw something different over here than over there, we can maybe mess with the nutrient count by allowing more waste product to go over there if we had all kale and the same amount of filtration that we do right now for lettuce. All right, so we'll get a chance to see this fish food. You guys might want to back up. They're gonna get you. So we use this for our biggest fish.
Okay.
This is gonna be our biggest pellet. This has the least amount of protein. It's the cheapest pellet format of food that we have for the varying ages. So this has the least amount of protein. Our tilapia that are nursery get the highest amount of protein. The amount of protein really depicts on the size.
What are they made of?
This is made of quite a bit of different materials and nutrients, and also probably some fish meal itself.
Oh, okay.
So they have a SDS card on all of that, and then you submit that when you're doing your food auditing, and they do tests on that and see if it's susceptible to any kind of injuries to the food product. All right, we'll see if these guys are hungry. Like I said, you better watch out because they are a lot of
jump around, right? They jump.
Yeah, they jump. So they get fed 3 times a day, even though they would probably like to get fed more.
That's the big one.
So, like I said, we're not selling these tilapia this year, so they've been growing out, and these are going to be.
I see the
probably
big
about,
size.
yeah, they're probably going to be about 3 pounds in our largest tilapia.
So what are you going to do with that later on? Sell it later? What is the life cycle? I mean,
The reason that we're not selling them is because last year's audit were in December for food safety, and those audits called acid food certification are voluntary by the USDA, but mandatory by most of the distribution companies, at least to a certain degree. So you have to have a third party come in after you put together your program, and then they kind of audit your practices, your good agricultural practices, good management practices, and then your HACCP, which stands for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points. So you have to basically see this system and try and find everything that could happen or go wrong and find a solution for that. Whether it's going to go wrong or not, you have to get creative and you have to say, well, what if this were to happen? What if we were to get the tobacco mosaic virus and it was ingested in our product? How can we trace back that product to where it was located in the system, when we harvested it, and who it went to? And by doing so, you really have a clearer vision of food safety but also you get to work with these distribution companies, which is integral part of running this commercially viable business.
So distribution companies, are you talking about more like Walmart, where it's actually more like an end user, or are you actually dealing with